Get out of my way.
You're always so angry.
Caledonia, get back here.
Well, hello there. So it looks as if I'm live. Can I hear myself? Can't hear myself in my other system. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, I can hear myself. Can you hear me and see me? I think you probably can. We've done this enough times to know that I should be able to be heard and seen. Okay, right, I do have a wee agenda tonight. Okay, just a short one. Okay, before we start that, let me just bring my agenda up. Right, just let me check, can you actually see me and hear me? Just say in the chat loud and clear. Thanks very much, Mark. Excellent stuff. Okay, so a few hellos before I get to my wee agenda. There were people in the chat before we even started, so let's go back. So the first person that came in was Rose. Came in waiting. That was quite a while back. I don't know if Rose is back in or not now. Dougie then came in looking for some possible advice for his new coming up, his Mini 3 that just arrived. Jim, stalwart Jim there, of course. There's Drone Shots, hello, right. Kerno, hello to you too. Scott, it seems like it's very warm where you are, I mean, my God. And I did see you're having a Hotel California intro from one of my guitars. Not tonight, and I'll tell you why in a wee minute, okay? Alright, so that's the hellos for the moment. Oh, jeez. So it's Stevie. Right, Stevie, hello. And it won't spam, it won't be spam, it'll be criticism. Alright, looks like we've got one in already. Okay, Andy, listen, you're free to spout your opinion here as much as you like, as long as you keep it clean, okay? Don't, if you put in any swear words, YouTube will just automatically hold it and the comment won't be seen. So if you can avoid that, your comments will come up in the chat. Okay, and I don't delete any comments or anything like that. It's just that sometimes YouTube holds anything that they think is going to be not family friendly or something like that. I'm still not 100% sure how it works. Right, John, hello there. You are on time. Well done. Pints World, good to see you again. Douglas, hello there. Barry, stalwart again. Hello, how you doing? Lynn, hello there. Above and Beyond, hello. Is that a round of applause? I don't know why I'm getting that, but thanks very much anyway. Gerard McGlinchey, love that name, McGlinchey, fantastic. Gerard, how you doing? Stephen, you're back from Dunkirk now. Okay, did you manage through the queues? Apparently, well, I don't know if it was. Did you go to what's that? Dover. Dover. Apparently, the queues at Dover were really, really bad. Richard, hello. How you doing? Colin, here we go again. Aye, the Moaner Droner. Oh my God, nice name. But why? Why? What are you moaning about? Everything's happy and everything's good. Ronald, nice to see you in the chat. How you doing? Oh, here's the one stuck. Okay, there you go. Right, so I think that's everybody. Jim, okay, let me start off. Jim just says, nice to see you, looking slightly paler. I am not a tomato this week, right? And here's a John. John, nice to see you. I'll be mentioning your name again in a wee minute. Right, so before we get started, it's been a bit of a week. I can tell you that all week. At the beginning of the week, my young wife contracted COVID. Now, for those of you who know my wife or have seen my wife in some of my videos, she's a wee skinny lassie and very active, very, very fit, and she's just a bzzz of life. But she contracted COVID at the beginning of the week, and it's hit her quite badly actually. She's been losing weight and she's a skinny wee thing, so she can't afford to lose any weight, and she's been quite ill with it, so I've been looking after her. And of course, inevitably, this was my test today, so I'm done with the COVID as well, right? Feeling a wee bit bad, bit of a sore throat, pounding headache, a bit of sweats and muscly sore and things like that. I'm hoping it doesn't get any worse than that, but if I follow the same pattern as my wife, it may get a bit worse than that. And here's the other thing. I was out with John Wheatley, who's in the chat. John is currently holidaying at, oh, John, what's the name of that place you're at? It's just along the road. It used to be Butlins, I forget what it's called now. At Craig Tara, right? John's at Craig Tara with his wife and his wee dog. So he messaged me and he said, look, I'm at Craig Tara, do you fancy coming over for a beer? This was yesterday when I was still negative for COVID. So I said, aye, of course. I jumped in the car, hopped on over, had a beer with John. We went down to the beach, or we walked down to the beach to fly our drones, and of course, as soon as we started walking down there, the rain pounded down and it didn't stop, so we didn't get a chance to fly our drones. But I have messaged John to let him know that I now have COVID, and I probably had it yesterday, even though I tested before I went to meet John and I was negative, and I tested this morning and I was negative. I now have it, and so I possibly did have it anyway. So, but John's aware of that. So anyway, why am I telling you all this? Well, I'm telling you this because that now means that you don't have to self-isolate anymore, but you have to stay at home. I can't go out. So that means that this week there may not be, or there won't be any brand new drone videos. But I do have some footage that I took from last summer that I still haven't actually put together when I did my wee Highlands tour. So I might find some of that and put it together and put a few videos out. Or I may do a few other kind of entertaining videos, and we'll come to that point in a minute as well. So just to let you know, and there is of course only one cure for the COVID, as I'm sure you're all aware. Here's a good photo. This is probably going to be, this will be screenshotted, and the auditors will say, Windswept Robert drinks his own piss. The truth of the matter is, Windswept Robert just drinks some fiery ginger ale. That's all. It's good. It soothes the throat, helps the stomach a little bit. Right, so let me have a few look at the comments there. Okay, so Stephen, you went to Folkestone. Okay, it was Bedlam. Aye, okay. Right, Jim, thanks very much for that. Yeah. Oh, here's a thing. If you fancy, when this video has finished, if you fancy putting into the comments a wee well-wishing thing to Mrs. Windswept, that'll make her feel quite good. If she gets a few wee messages in the comments wishing her well, she'll probably feel good. So thanks very much. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, we'll feel better. She's had it all week, so she should be coming to the end of it soon, hopefully. And I've just started it, but hopefully it won't affect me too much. Thanks, Gerard. Yeah, that's nice. Right, Ed, hello from the 80s and the 70s. Hello, how you doing? Craig Tara John, yeah, got it eventually, the old ticker started, right? Is that John with his little dog on the motorbike? Well, his little dog's called Bobby, and it possibly could have been, I don't know, right? Hi Rab, how you doing? Brian, a wet Fort William. Aye, it's just as wet down here in Ayrshire, pal. It's raining and then stopping and then raining and then stopping, and never giving you enough of an opportunity to fly, really. John and I tried yesterday. We walked down to the beach. Do you know something, John? See, if we hadn't spent that first hour in your caravan gabbing and drinking beer, if we'd gone out and flown then, we could have got a flight in because it wasn't raining for that first hour. So that will teach us to stop drinking the beer. Right, here we go. Okay, Simon the Catman, what is your problem with PJ? Because he has more views than you. No, I don't care about how many views anybody gets. No, I don't care. I don't have a problem with PJ in particular. I have a problem with the whole gang of the so-called auditors, right? Because they're not auditing anything. They're going out and they're winding people up. Now, that's up to them. They can do what they like, right? It's a free country and you can do what you want. But in the same vein, I can do what I want. And if I want to take the piss out of them, they can't start crying. Although they're all crying about it. They're all crying because I made a piss take video about them when all they do is go out and take the piss out of people that are trying to work hard. So I don't have a problem with it at all. But you know, he seems to have a problem with me now. That doesn't bother me in the slightest. I'll be talking a wee bit more about that in a minute, right? Right, Richard says, has anyone else with this problem? Downloaded the latest firmware and now my compass is pointing the wrong direction. What is this? Is this the absolute latest firmware, Richard? Because I thought that the latest firmware was supposed to fix a problem that some people had been finding with the compass. I never had any problem with it. My compass was working fine. Here, do you know something? I never seem to have any of the problems with either the Mini 2 or the Mini 3 that other people seem to have had, you know, and the updates fix. You know, updates never fix anything for me because nothing ever goes wrong, or at least nothing that really interferes with a flight. So I don't really know what the problems are. I know that I was told that there was a compass problem, and apparently what it was is that the compass wasn't aligning up with the home point. Oh, Simpler Way, thanks very much for the sub. It wasn't lining up properly with the where it should be. It was over here when it should have been here. Can you see what I'm doing now? But apparently now the latest update was meant to have fixed that. But if you're saying that there is now a problem with your compass pointing in the wrong direction, I know that you can click something on the map now or the compass, and it will change the. You can have the arrow at the bottom or the arrow in the middle, maybe even the arrow at the top. I don't know, to change. It's basically just a head-up display of how you like to have your compass set up. I think you can do that, but I didn't know if there was anything else wrong. Thanks, John. That's nice. Yeah, she's not doing too great, but she's a fit, wee, healthy thing, and she'll be fine. Our wife's name is just J. Okay, J. That's a. Am I doing it the right way around? J. If you just call her J, that's fine. Or Mrs. Windswept. Windswept it. Nice, nice, Stevie. Like that. Aye. Hey up, Johnny. Hey up. Thanks very much, Rose. That's really nice of you. I appreciate that. Aye, we'll be there. There you go. So somebody says, yeah, Rab's with me at a lot of a lot of Egypts. Listen, we're all Egypts. I'm one of the biggest Egypts on the planet. I'm happy to admit that. I have been really amused over the past, well, today and some of yesterday, at how outraged these auditors are that someone has dared to do exactly what they do to other people. I didn't even do that. I was playing a character myself, and the workman that I was annoying was my mate Eddie. So I annoyed a workman, and he got the better of me, and now these otters are outraged that I've dared to do what they do. It's funny, it's amusing to me, it really is. Shows you how weak-willed they actually are. Anyway, so thanks for your support on it. Well said about the auditors. Hope you and your better are feeling better. I'm actually feeling okay. I've got a bit of a sore throat, a bit of a headache, a wee bit shaky. My taste is okay. My wife can't eat anything just now or drink anything. That's why she's losing weight, and she doesn't need to lose weight because she's a skinny wee thing. Because she says everything tastes like metal, even drinking water, it all tastes metallic. So she can't. The things she is eating, she's covering it in paprika and garlic pepper and garlic salt, just to try and disguise the kind of metallic flavour that everything, really strong metallic flavour that everything has. So hopefully that will stop soon. I know that some people who are left with that, which is, I mean, how can you eat when everything tastes like metal? Anyway, unless you're a robot. Anyway, so that's what it is. Yeah, and I do have a wee agenda, but I've done some of the agenda already, right? COVID was my first agenda, so I've told you all about that, and I've told you about my wife. The big point of the agenda is point 4, which I'll get to, right? Which is the one that if you were watching the live stream last weekend, you'll know that I promised to show this loophole that I haven't found. It was sent to me, and I've had a look at, and it's a loophole in the VLOS regulations in the CAA, which seem to allow you, maybe even encourage you to fly beyond visual line of sight. So I'll be getting to that. I'll be getting to that a bit later on. That's point 4 on my agenda. And I've already done 2 of them and half of 3. So I'll be getting to that soon. And we can maybe have a wee date. But I'll show you the the section that I'm talking about, and maybe we can have a wee chat about it and discuss what everyone thinks about it, whether it's right or wrong, or I don't know. We'll have to talk about it in a minute. But anyway, right, okay. So Caroline, hello, welcome into the chat from the Lake District. It was blowing so strong today. Yeah, it was the same here today. It was blowing really strong today, and it's been raining on and off too. So the weather at the moment isn't good. I've been waiting actually for not just a low wind day and a low precipitation day. I'm waiting for a day that's got no cloud cover, because I want to get back out to the coast or to a river, a salmon or a trout river, where I can do a proper polarized filter test, because I'm not happy with the one that I did over the reservoir I got it wrong. It doesn't show what a polarization filter does. I want to be able to show the polarization filter seeing right into the water, right through the glare and into the water. So, but I need a sunny day for that. You can't do it in a cloudy day, because in a cloudy day there's no glare in the water. And I haven't had a cloudy day for that. I haven't had a sunny day for over a week now. And I wouldn't be able to get out for another week anyway, because I have to stay in for, I have to test again on day 6, which will be Friday, sorry. And then if I'm clearing on Friday and then test again on Saturday and clear on Saturday, it means I can get out. So it'll be next weekend before I can get back out, which, you know what that means, of course. It's going to be marvellously sunny all week while I'm stuck in here. So anyway, we'll see about that. Right, oh, here's Simon the Catman. No, so great. So you bullied Peter. Listen, Simon the Catman, I didn't bully anybody, okay? I'm not bullying anyone. I made a little skit, right? I made a little sketch. I wrote it, I produced it, I acted in it, I directed it, I edited it, and I published it, right? It's fine. I just created that for a laugh, right? The character that I played was inspired by someone that you know, yes. And why was it inspired by him? Because he's a character, right? He's undeniably different from the other auditors, because all of the other auditors are the same. They're all just all the same non-entities. All of them could be the one guy. He stands out. He's different. So that's why I picked on him, if you like. But nobody was bullying anybody. Give it a rest, man. You're talking nonsense. Bullying Peter. Right, okay, we got the priority right. John, you're right. A beer, we can fly any time, you know. We can have a beer any time as well, I suppose. We can all be Egypts, but why flaunt it? I don't flaunt it, Ed. I just am, and I can't help it, you know. But I know you're not talking about me. Right, John Beand, hello from Idaho, Robert. Hi from Idaho. What time is it over there, John? You're probably about 5 hours behind us, so you're probably about 2 in the afternoon, about 2:30 maybe. 3 o'clock in the afternoon maybe. Right, okay. Fit like for Bucky. Aye, well, fit like for Ayrshire Day, right? John says he had to take his first Mini 3 back to Argos last week. Hardware problems with autofocus. Aye, you did, you had a chat. We tried to kind of resolve that a bit, John, to see if you were pressing the AF button, or if you were pressing that other one which focuses on, I don't know what it focuses on. It focuses in the mountains or something. But it was obvious that it was a hardware problem. But so did you just do a direct replacement? That's the handy thing about Argos. You just take it back and hopefully replace it. So did you just get a direct replacement, and have you had it out? Have you tested it yet? I presume not, because you're still crossing your fingers for some luck. Okay, Yorkshire man totally agrees. Using drones like that, soon the CA will change the rules due to them numpties flying around prisons and police stations. Listen, Yorkshire man, I agree with you, but I will say that in the few, I've watched quite a few of the auditing videos. I can only watch, like everyone else, I zoom right through it and watch 10 seconds of them. But I'm pretty sure that most of them realise that you can't fly over prisons, and you can't fly near airports or over airports, and they know that and don't do it. I don't think it's because they don't want to do it. I think it's because the drones just won't do it for them. But I did 6 months ago. I created a new channel where I was addressing things like this, addressing the fact that because of the way they were using photography, their manner and the way they were going about it and what they were doing, it was going to lead to changes in legislation about public photography, which would include drones, and that would then affect me, it would affect you, it would affect everyone else. So I made about, I don't know, a dozen videos about that, and on this new channel. I don't know if any of you remember that I made an announcement that the new channel was coming. Well, that's what it was going to be. It was going to basically confront these auditors and show just what they're doing and why it's a bad thing for photography, and instead of them, what they claim to be is using the rights to photograph in public places, it is going to lead to those rights being taken away, or at least curtailed. And there are motions at the moment being put forward in Parliament to prevent this, and these numpties just don't get it. That their YouTube channels are all going to finish because they won't be able to do it anymore. But it's not just them that are being affected; it's us too. We are going to be affected, and it's going to restrict what we can do. So I made a new channel, and I made about half a dozen videos, but I didn't post them. What I did was I put them out to. I asked a few people if they would preview them for me. And so I think I got about 5-10 people from my subscribers. I sent them the videos through and they had a look at them, and the feedback that I got was that they didn't think it was a good idea for me to do it because I personally came across as a bit mean when I when I was reviewing the auditors and talking about what they were doing, and they thought I was a bit mean. Not that there was anything particularly wrong with that, but they just felt that it didn't fit my personality, and so I took that on board, had a think about it, and decided not to publish those videos. But I've had a few subscribers and members of the channel have asked me if they can see those videos. They have got an interest in them. So I am thinking about publishing those videos. I think there's about maybe eight of them, I'm not sure, that I made. And I'm thinking about publishing them only to the members section of the channel. I don't really want to, they're not really about, I don't fly any drones, and they're not really drone related other than the fact that I am addressing some of the issues that these guys are producing with their drone flights and how difficult they are going to make it for everyone in the future. But I don't actually fly any drones in it, so I don't know if I want to publish these videos on the main channel. But I could be convinced to publish them in the members section, the members only section. I'd like to see what you have to say about that, everyone. I'd be interested in, and if there's enough people want to actually see them, then I may consider that. Anyway, enough about that. Right, Simon the Cat. Mark says, Simon the Catman. I don't remember Robert ever mentioning anyone, but I didn't, Mark. And the only thing is, I think in about the first 5 seconds or 10 seconds of the video, there's a half a second picture of someone who looks like a well-known auditor. Now, that may be a picture of an auditor, or what it may be is, it may be a picture of someone else dressed up to look like that auditor. You know what I mean? It's not hard to get a dreadlock wig, a pair of glasses, and look a bit stupid. Right? It's not hard to do that. And I decided not to wear the dreadlocks out because it's very, very hot. So, no one mentioned anyone's name in that video. Right, High Flying Scotland. I may have to go and get this COVID. You've avoided it so far. 2.5 years I've avoided it too. And I thought, well, I've avoided it this long, I'm never going to get it. But, your wife gets it. It's pretty inevitable that you're going to get it. So I'm not surprised that I got it in the end. Right. Peter says, hello, Robert. I was going to ask you how your wife was, and you've said, thanks very much, Peter. I'm in my car, so I won't be contributing, but I'll be listening. Ginger ale and Woods 100 rum sorted my COVID out. I've only got ginger ale in here, Peter, because I didn't know how alcohol would affect, mixing the COVID and alcohol, if it would have an even more detrimental effect on how I'm feeling. I wasn't sure about that. However, as the week goes on, if I'm feeling worse and worse and worse and the ginger ale's not helping, then there'll be a splash or two of something else going in there. I can assure you of that. Right. Mike Reed says, DJI Mini 3 RC or N1 or Mini 2? Oh, what a question, Mike. That's a question that could take an hour to answer, at least an hour. I'll try and be as brief as I possibly can. My personal opinion is, if you can afford the DJI Mini 3, get the DJI Mini 3, because, sorry lassie, it's a better drone. It is a better drone than the Mini 2. It just is. Of course it is. It's twice the price. It's a year and a half newer. Of course it's a better drone. Right. So get it if you can afford it. If you can't afford it and you've got to have a drone right now, get the Mini 2. It's a fantastic drone. It does almost everything that the Mini 3 does, almost everything. And it is better, in my opinion, in one way, excuse me, and that is if you are filming in 1080p with both drones, the footage from the Mini 2 looks better. To me, it's just nicer. The Mini 3 footage is oversaturated, especially with the greens. It's a bit too in your face and a bit too whoa. And any time I've been doing 1080p footage with the Mini 2 and the Mini 3, unless it's been for a test or a comparison video, I've had to go in and do a lot of post work to just tame the Mini 3 footage down. But that's at 1080p. The 4K footage is a different kettle of fish, right? The 4K footage in the Mini 3 is just out of this world. It's fantastic. So is the Mini 2. The Mini 2 4K footage is fantastic. But when you compare them side by side, it's like you can see the difference. Okay, so that's as far as the drones go. As far as the RC goes, right, the RC that comes, I haven't got it at hand, the RC that comes with, I don't know if you've got them or not yet. Right, the RC, oh, that's the RC-N1. Right, and I don't know where Mother Bag is. It's kicking about somewhere, right? But that's the RC-N1 that comes with the Mini 2. I actually prefer it to over the RM330, which is the one that comes with the Mini 3 for a few reasons, right? A couple of reasons are I don't like the sticks being at the top because you do slightly cover the screen, right? The screen is very, very glary. It's like a mirror. Now you can get one of these things to cover it up, right? And I've still got it. Still trying to work out how to give this away. Can't quite work out how to give it away yet. Although I have done giveaways before. Right, but one of those will take away the glare. But it's not any brighter than using an iPhone 12. If you've got an iPhone 13, that's brighter than the RM330, which is the RC that comes in the Mini 3. And the other reason I don't like it, now this is because I post videos up on YouTube, right? So this doesn't affect anyone who doesn't do that or any other social media. And I rely on the telemetry, which is the screen capture resolution, because I overlay that on my videos, and the screen resolution capture is very low in the RM330. Really looks like 480 or something like that, so it doesn't look very good at all. Now there's a way around it. You can crop and cut and do a lot of things, and I do that, but it's a bit of a BITA, if you know what I mean, pain in the to do that. But the main reason that I would say I prefer the RC-N1, and I haven't even tested it yet because I haven't had enough sunshine to do it, is that if it's very, very bright and the screen on the RM330 gets hard to see because it's not particularly bright, if you're using the RC-N1 and a phone, you can put the phone inside a drone mask and then it's crystal clear. So, and it's cheaper too, it's cheaper I believe. But a lot of people prefer it. It's more convenient. You just whip it out, switch it on, and you're there, you're connected. You don't have to put your phone on, connect the wee cable, find the DJI app, blah, blah. It takes an extra 30 seconds. It's not all that inconvenient, but the RM330 is more convenient. So that's my opinion, and it could have taken an hour for me to go through that. I'm sorry it took as long as it did, but I hope that helps you a little bit. It probably hasn't helped at all, right? Right, there you go. Good thing you can fly for your back garden. Aye, I know, I'm thinking about that. I said to my wife, I said, oh, I could just go out the back. She's going, no, you can't go out the house. I said, I can go out. No. So I thought, well, maybe just stand at the front window and fly through. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Aye, CP will also make the sky bluer. Aye, yeah, in some instances it will, Jim. You can also do a wee bit of post work if you want to bring out the blue in the sky and things like that, yeah. Yeah, Richard says fly for your bedroom window. Aye, I will probably come up with a few ideas. I might do so. I don't know, we'll see. Here you go. Okay, I'm not a bully. They are prats. Thanks, thanks, Jim. I can be a prat as well. We can all be prats, right? I'm definitely not a bully. You know, I don't know why Simon the Catman thinks I'm a bully. John, I don't know what that means. 12:15. Oh, that's the time you're at. Really, 12:15. So, oh, that would mean you're like 7 hours behind us. Oh, okay. I didn't think it was as much as that. Although I don't know how far across to the east, sorry, to the west you are. But yeah, the further west you go, the longer the time difference is, I suppose. Right, okay, Mopax. Mopax, that's a kind of new name to me, I think. Only seen some of your videos. Keep up the good work, Graham. Yeah, thanks very much, Graham. Mopax. I will. You know, some people have been complaining a little bit, and possibly justifiably, that I'm doing some videos that aren't drone videos. Like I put a video up of my band playing at a concert recently. I did the little auditing skit thing, and I've done some other videos that are not really necessarily drone related. People have been complaining about it. But listen, you know, I I kind of do what I like. You know what I mean? I'm just amusing myself, keep myself happy, and I don't want to get bored myself by continually doing the same thing over and over and over again. Let me try out a few different things. If people like it, I'll maybe do more of it. If people don't like it, then I'll stop doing it. You know, I will be guided by the audience. If the audience don't like things that I'm doing, then I won't repeat it. If they do like things I'm doing, then I'll try it again and see if they like it again. So, but complain as much as you like. I don't mind complaints. I mean, I've been getting some hell of a complaints in this week, and I will say, Pete, I don't know if you're in the chat or not. I don't know if you've even watched this live stream or not. You might be, you might not. You say you're a subscriber to the channel, and you say that you enjoy my videos and tell me to keep up the good work and all that. So you might be listening there. Um, I'm sorry that you've taken it badly. That's just the way life is sometimes. Sometimes people get annoyed at something you're doing. A lot of people get annoyed at some of the things you're doing. You've got annoyed at some of the things I'm doing. Suck it up, man. Put on your big boy pants and let's move along, right? That's all it is. Anyway, right, okay. So that was the third. How are we doing? Oh, we're after half past. I better get to the final point. Right, I'm going to bring up a screenshot here. I'm going to talk now. Well, before I get to the beyond visual line of sight possible loophole, let me just check a few of the comments, get them up and answer some of them, and then we'll get to this before the end of the show, right? Uh, John says guitars. A couple of guitars there, couple over there, couple of guitars everywhere. Mandolin, ukuleles, banjoleles, a lot. I do not play the bagpipes. I bought myself I forget what you call the actual bit of the bagpipes that you play. Chanter. I bought a chanter because it's all about the chanter. The drone is just the drone. It's a continuous drone. The chanter's the thing. And I spent a year trying to. I play trumpet, I play cornet, I play euphonium. So I thought, yeah, I'll be able to play this. I'm a musician. Give me something, I'll get a tune out of it. I couldn't do it, man. So difficult. So no, I don't play the bagpipes. It's something I'd love to learn, but I did try for a year to learn just the chanter and couldn't do it. So no, no bagpipes for here. Right, John, just like he's given us a wee update with the refund period Argos has in place, and yes, was up at Brecco Roman Fort no issues first light. Good, excellent, John. Glad to hear it. Right, Jim's wanting to review stuff from me. If that means that you want to see some of the auditing videos that I made 6 months ago, Jim, we'll have a wee chat about that. You can message me or email me and we'll have a wee chat about that, alright? How do you become a member? You click on the join. There's a join button somewhere and you just click that, join. And that, you remember, I think it's something like the first level of membership of the channel is $2.99 a month or something like that. And you get a few things, this and that, and the next thing. So it's that, you just click join somewhere. Right, Dougie loved the audit video. Led Zet, excellent. There you go. Ready for them. Unless you're at work, they won't bother you. Right. Oh, right. Why are you so negative, Andy? Says Jim, because Andy retracted a message. Don't know what message it was, but it must have been something a bit negative. Aye, whatever. You know, listen, Jim, anybody's free to post their opinion on here. As long as they don't use profanity, it will get onto the chat list. If they use profanity or threats or anything like that, I don't edit it, but YouTube prevent it from coming up in the chat. It's not me. So, you know, anybody's entitled to post their opinion here. I don't have an issue with that. Right, Ed says it's more how you fly your drone than the drone itself. Most problems are human error. Ed, I absolutely agree with you 100%. And I think that most of the problems that people say that they have and they think a firmware update is going to fix it, it's not the firmware, it's something that they've actually been doing wrong. I agree with you. But there you go anyway. Right, I want to get to this BVLOS point, so I may skip a few of your comments here, and I'm sorry if I do. I'm just checking to see if there's anyone I haven't missed at all, and I haven't, right? There you go. I think Andy left to find his big boy pants. Well, I did tell him to put them on. I told Pete to put his on. You know, this is it. If you auditors, and if there's any of you watching here, right, I'm talking directly to you right now. If you want to go out and behave the way you behave and film the way you film and treat people the way you treat people, then that's up to you. It's a free country and you can do what you like. And I'm not here to tell you not to do that, okay? But don't start QQing whenever anybody pulls you up on it. All right? If someone pulls you up on your behaviour and tells you you're being a wee fanny, that's this. I've got the same right to do that as you have to go out and annoy people the way you do. So there you go. Put on your big boy pants, suck it up, get on with your life. You're only here for 80 or 90 years on the planet, okay? Stop spending most of it annoying people and try to do something productive, make people smile rather than cry. You're making some women go home and cry and shake like nervous wrecks. Is that really what you want to be doing? I've been watching some of those audit videos. Well, some of you auditors are having a right go at some tiny little women, making them visibly shake. What's that all about? Why would you do that? Anyway, it's a free country, do what you like, but there you go. Anyway, please, let me get, let me, oh, there you go. Tomorrow's a day closer to recovery for you and Jay. It's a lot of days closer for Jay, because she's had it for 7 days now. So it's very close, hopefully, to her to recover. This is my day one anyway. Right, so I'm going to, thanks for the comments so far. It's 22, so I'm going to talk now about this article. And I'm really sorry, I can't remember who sent it to me. If you're in the chat, just remind me who it was, because I get so much stuff in from so many people that it's hard to keep track of it, and I apologise for forgetting. I'll show you on the screen here, right? There was a section from the CAA regulations about visual line of sight was sent to me. Here it is here. Let me bring this up. Bing, there it is up there. Right, now, let me just move this thing around to the important part here, right? This is flying within the visual line of sight, fair enough. To fly beyond the visual line of sight, right, it says if the remote pilot is unable to maintain direct unaided visual contact with the unmanned aircraft while it is airborne. Now, it doesn't say for what reason. It just says if you are unable. Now, it might mean you're unable because you've let it fly too far. It doesn't exclude any reason. Then an alternative method of collision avoidance must be employed in order to ensure it can be flown safely. Now, the Mini 3 has collision avoidance, and I'm quite sure the Air 2S does as well, and the bigger drones, they all have collision avoidance. Okay, so that meets that criteria, all right? And it then says that the beyond visual line of sight will normally require either detect and avoid capability, which I've just explained that the Mini 3 and probably bigger aircraft, bigger drones have that. Also, this one doesn't. It applies a block of airspace which is segregated, which means a geofenced area. Right, okay, fair enough. You can do that. But this is the most important part. Clear evidence that the intended operation will have no aviation threat and that the safety of persons and objects on the ground has been properly addressed. So that basically means is that you have carried out a dynamic risk assessment to your flight and the area you're flying. And if you are required, you can provide clear evidence that there will be no aviation threat and that the safety of persons and objects on the ground has been properly addressed. Now, this means that if you are flying in an area similar to areas that I fly, which is basically the middle of nowhere, where there are no people and no buildings, or if there are, they're very sparsely dotted out, then here we have a regulation saying that we can do this. Now, if anybody wants to screenshot that just now, I'll leave it up there. Take a screenshot of that. I'll take my stupid wee face off. Let me just work out how to do that. Is that it? Yeah. So if you want to screenshot that, and then you can yourself, you can type in the address in the address bar and go and have a look at it yourself. But that would seem to me that it's saying that in the well, it does say it. It just says that if you are unable to maintain direct unaided visual contact, doesn't say for what reason, right? If you're unable to do it, if I fly my drone too far that I can't see it, then I now am unable to maintain direct unaided contact, right? I must have done a risk assessment of a dynamic risk assessment. So, and that's the CAA saying that. So therefore, if anyone is flying beyond visual line of sight and the CAA pull them up about it, the answer is, well, I could no longer maintain visual line of sight, but I had carried out a dynamic risk assessment to make sure that there was, and let me just bring it up again, to make sure that there was no aviation threat and that the safety of persons and objects on the ground had been properly addressed. So, what do we think about that? Because when I was saying that, I was like, poof, mind-blowing. That in one hand, the CA are telling you must always maintain visual line of sight, but then they're telling you if you can't maintain visual line of sight, you must have done a dynamic risk assessment to make sure that the people on the ground are safe and there's no threat to aviation. Oh, really? We all do that. That's everything that we all do before we do a flight anyway. So, what do we think? I'm going to look at the comments now, and I hope we've got some people. Right, add the link to the chat. Oh God, can I do that? I don't know. No, I can't. I can't. But what I will do is I'll bring it up again, right, and let you screenshot it. Okay. So let me bring it up again, and don't screenshot it until I've got rid of my face. Okay. Give me a wee second. Oh, my face is away. Right. So if you want to screenshot that, you will get the up here. You'll get the address. You can type it in your cell or cut and paste or whatever it is you need to do, right? So you should have that there. That should be enough time. And what I will do is I'll put a link in the comments section of this video after, once it's not live anymore and once it turns into a normal YouTube video. I'll put a link to that in there. That's very interesting, isn't it? And so what do people think about that so far, without having gone into it and looked at it yourselves in depth? What do you think? Pete G says, have you flown in a CTR? If so, did DJI throw up anything on your screen? Warning stopping you from flying. I've never tried it. I've never attempted to fly in I take it a CTR as a flight restricted zone. Pete, I've never tried to fly in one of those. If that's what you're talking about, I wouldn't. Why would you? Why would you want to fly in an area? I take it you're talking about over a prison or over an airport. No, I haven't done that and wouldn't. Okay, so anyway, right, hold on. Let's get back to this. Sounds a bit like Article 16. Well, Johnny, let's look at this once again. You make a good point there, but I think, yeah, see this section here, the second bullet point, where it says a block of airspace to operate in which, right? Yes, you're right there. But look here, it says BVLOS flight will normally require either. So it's either that, or that, or that. It doesn't say it will normally require all of the items below. So any one of those will do. So if you are unable to maintain directed unaided visual contact with your drone while it's in the air, you must have, first of all, an alternative method of collision avoidance, which all drones above the Mini 2 have, like the Mini 3, etc. has. And clear evidence that the intended operation, blah, 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 which is a dynamic risk assessment. So, yeah, it's no, Article 16 is the second bullet point. But, you know, I'm not interested in that because I don't go and fly in at a club or anything like that anyway. But the third point to me is like gold, absolute gold. Right, what's anybody else thinking? Right, there is there's a comment here that is being held for review from LM Grass Cutting Services. I'm not going to publish your silly wee comment, mate. But listen, you're talking nonsense. What an idiot. Right, there is still a distance rule though. Well, no, you see, no, I don't think there is, Ed, because beyond visual line of sight, that's all it says. There never has been a distance rule. A lot of people are under the impression that there is a 500 metre limit. No, there isn't. There's no 500 metres. There's no 200 metres. There's no anything. That is just, it's a figure that the CAA say, look, no human being can see a mini drone beyond 500 metres, so you shouldn't be flying beyond that. And some people have picked up on it thinking that is an actual defined distance. It's not. There is no defined distance. There is only... the definition is beyond visual line of sight. It might be 20 feet, it might be 200 feet, it might be 2,000 feet. There is no defined distance. So there you go. Right, so that clears that one up. Right. Douglas says, unable to see the drone due to being 12 cans and 12 balls of bucket deep. It's not an excuse. Well, Douglas, although I agree with your comment. It doesn't say that. It doesn't give any reason why or not. So you could say, if they said, why could you not see your drone? Because I was 12 cans, 2 bottles of Buckfast deep. That's why I couldn't see it. It doesn't say that that's not a reason you can give, right? But, you know, I get your sentiment and I agree with it, right? I don't think I'd want to walk 5 kilometres to cover my mini drone. No, you don't, but you could fly it out 4 kilometres and then hit return to home and it will come home the 4 kilometres. I don't know how far I got with my Mini 3. Was it 3? It was 4 kilometres, I think. I think I got 4 kilometres over lockdown. And now I think we can all say that if we have gone beyond visual line of sight, you know, the legislation there says that we can. Not that I am admitting to anything. But there you go. I suppose it's an answer to any question about you flying beyond visual line of sight. Say, well, the CAA say we can do it as long as I've done a dynamic risk assessment and my drone has an ability to avoid obstacles. There you go. Right. Okay. Land of Saints. You know, I'm late. You look healthier up, mate. Thanks very much for that, Land of Saints. I feel healthy-ish, okay? I don't know if I look healthy, but I suppose I look enthusiastic. I always do. I always feel enthusiastic. And I try to be as upbeat as I can, but I've got COVID and I'm not feeling too great. Anyway, right, okay. So, but thanks for the sentiment about me looking healthy. Gerard, you've only put half a comment up there, Robert. When I fly... Oh, here you go. Here's the next one. When I fly my Air 2S, it will tell me there's a plane or a helicopter coming. It will tell me to drop to a certain altitude. There you go, man. Then you are covered by the first part, which it says then an alternative method of collision avoidance must be employed in order to ensure that it can still be flown safely. That is an alternative method that can be employed. Excuse me, I'm just going to close the blinds a bit because, as usual, the sun is starting to come in. Talk amongst yourselves while I do it. There we go. I think that's a bit better. Right. Right, so there... Oh, hold on. So, right, I can't see my drone at 100 metres most of the time. Ed, I don't know what age you are because that's not your picture you've got there, but listen, a lot of us, as we get older, can see the drone less and less the further and further away it gets, okay? Right, so John is saying that he thinks I have a point in this in black and white. Yeah, I think it's not me that's got the point. I forget who it was that sent it to me. And I have forgotten twice. I've had to ask again. So please, you know, if you're listening, remind me who it was sent, because kudos to you. That was a fantastic find. And I searched for it and couldn't find it anyway. I went through the entire CAA book and couldn't find it. And then this person who sent me it, I said I can't find it, and they actually sent me this this tiny little bit right here. So fantastic, well done. But I'm really curious to find out what everyone else thinks, and that's why I don't want just to assume that I'm correct, because I'm rarely correct on anything, to be honest with you, if according to my wife. But so I really want to know what everyone else thinks about this. But it seems in black and white to me. It seems pretty clear, you know. Right, Mighty Enid says there's a difference between collision avoidance and obstacle avoidance. Mighty Enid, yeah, I've seen that video and I know what you're saying, right? The wording here says an alternative method of collision avoidance must be employed. Now, the Mini 3 has an alternative method of collision avoidance. Whether it is 100% successful is not mentioned here. It doesn't say you must employ an alternative method of collision avoidance that has been proven to be 100% successful. It doesn't say that. It just says an alternative method. It does have an alternative method. So, you know, and when you say there's some serious straw clutching here, number 55 broke them WWTC. Thanks for the sub. Mighty Ned, I don't think you're doing justice to the argument that I'm making by calling it straw clutching. I don't think it is straw clutching, because it's in black and white. There's no straw clutching required here. It's an alternative method of collision avoidance and clear evidence that there has been a risk assessment taken. So I don't think I'm clutching at straws at all. I understand what you're saying, because the method of collision avoidance may not work, as has been shown in a video where the one hit the school bus. You're right, but it doesn't mention anything about that, and nothing is 100% foolproof either. So I don't think it's clutching at straws. Right. Right, what do you mean you like to see it or you like to see it tested up against the CA in court or something like that? I've no doubt you will be. If for any reason I was ever taken to court for, you know, flying in a manner that the CA have not prescribed, and that I would put this at my I would put this as one of my defences. So there's this LM grass cutting now commenting on other videos. Obviously a bee in their bonnet. They're obviously an auditor who's going to be really upset when people start pulling out their John, thanks for the sub. When they start pulling out their phones and start playing music, and the auditors don't get any content. Oh, let me just address that quickly, because we've still got 7 minutes. A lot of people have been posting in that particular video, that audit video that I did, saying that there is software that allows music to be taken out, and so therefore my method won't work. No, you don't quite understand. To remove the music from the audio that's coming from someone's phone that's being picked up by the auditor's microphone can't be removed using any software method. To remove that audio means that any other audio that is happening at the same time as that audio also has to be removed. So you can't remove it. Someone also said, well, all they have to do is speed it up a little bit to raise the pitch, and then it's not copyrighted. Yes, it is. And I went through a case with that, with an artist that I know and know well, who was going through a similar thing where someone else was taking all of his music and speeding it up slightly and then posting it as if it was his. And he was copyright struck, and his YouTube channel was taken down, completely banned for life from YouTube. So you can't even do that. You can't speed the music up. It's still copyrighted. Right, so anyway, let's get back to this beyond visual line of sight stuff, right? John, thanks for the sub, appreciate that. Right, Enid, you're on the side of this. Yeah, listen, it's going to be good for all of us if if it's the case, I don't want to get a lawyer involved in this. You know, it's just, there it is in black and white. This is what it says. You know, I think we can now run with it. I'm happy. I would be happy to run with it. And if I was taken, let's say I was taken to court, for example, over this, and they said you were flying beyond visual line of sight, and it clearly says in the CAA regulations you must maintain visual line of sight of the aircraft at all times, I would then produce this and say, yes, except under these circumstances, and I was flying under these circumstances. And I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure that any judge would look at that and say, yeah, you're right, case dismissed. It's there. Now, the CAA may amend this, and I maybe shouldn't have brought this to light, because if they hear about this, don't tell Geeks Vanna, for God's sake, because he'll just go and tell on us. He'll tell the CAA about this, and then they'll strike it and take it away for regulations. So don't tell him. Right, anyway. Right, Scott says, you had the COVID a month ago. Vodka and tonic was the cure. Was it? Okay, so I might stick a wee drop in there then. Hope you and your wife recover soon. Keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy me. Oh, Scott, thanks so much. And, you know, I'm feeling okay. I'm starting to get more and more bunged up. You can probably hear that as time's going on. Jim, thanks for the super chat. Really appreciate it. You're some guy. I wouldn't be using much fuel this week to get out and about, but it'll all get stored up until I am out. Thanks very much, Jim. I really appreciate that. Okay. Oh, right. Sorry, Gerard. I'm just going to go back to a comment for you, then I'll talk about yours. Stuck is saying, could it be an outdated rule? Maybe that's why it's hard to find. It's possible. It's possible, but as of now, it's there. It's on the regulations. So as long as it's there, it's not outdated. It's only outdated if they amend it or they retract it, and then it's outdated. But at the moment, it's there. It's on the regulations. Don't anyone tell anybody that is friendly with the CAA, or you know what's going to happen, don't you? Anyway, right. So, Gerard, you said, I think if you're not near an airport and stay under 400 feet, you're fine. Aye, that's probably why there are some people have flown. Mark, thanks for becoming a member. I thought you were a member already, Mark. Thanks for that. There are people who have flown beyond visual line of sight, and they have never ever been pulled up by the CAA ever. And I think that may be one of the reasons why, because they know that it's not going to happen. Right, what's this? DJ Audit said something. I don't know where DJ Audit... Oh, here he's here, right. Right, DJ Audits. I didn't know about this channel until your funny audit video. Loved it. DJ Audits. I've been watching your auditing video for a while, and I'm still not quite sure what you're all about, man. I don't know if you are a very, very, very good comedian who's out there making comedy, because your stuff's very funny, but I don't know if you're intentionally trying to make it funny. It is funny, and I will say you are always courteous, as courteous as you can be. It's certainly more courteous than some of your fellow auditors who are loathsome little dregs of society, and I'm sure you know that as well. But I still think you might be at it, and you might be a comedy genius, because what you're doing can't be absolutely true. It can't be real. The way you're doing it is very well. The way you're running your YouTube channel is excellent. You know that. I don't need to tell you that. Right, there's Mark has become a member of the channel. Thanks very much for that, Mark. And you'll get. I post up there videos that no one else gets to see, behind the scenes stuff, background information, personal stuff, things like that. You'll get to see all of those videos. Anyone who wants to pay the $2.99 a month or whatever it is gets all of that kind of stuff, and some more stuff too. Right, there, Mark saying, don't forget to hit that like button for you. What time is it? Oh, we're down to 2 minutes. How quick is that going? Right, Blue Harvest Toys, hello there. Hello and cheerio, almost. Right, okay. Isolation rules are here in Scotland are different. They're changed. For us now, we don't have to self-isolate, but we have to stay at home for up to 10 days. So there we go. Right, here's Mark saying, here's the link to that page that I am referring to. You have to copy. Where is it, Mark? Where's the link? I don't see it. Right. Okay. Right, DJ, thanks for that. Yes, a great laugh out there. You're having a laugh. You're having a big laugh. I am liking what you're doing, but I'm liking it because you're like airplaying the movie. You're really, it's funny, and I think you're kidding everybody on. You're fooling all of those other auditors into, you know what I'm talking about. You're a comic, right? Okay, right. We need to get going soon because in 30 seconds we need to go because you know what's happening. The Drone Seekers International is coming up at 8 o'clock, and I never like to overrun. So thanks very much for everybody that tuned in. Thanks, Douglas, for your wishes. Don't forget to put a wee comment in saying get well soon, Jay or Mrs. Windswept, okay? And I'll hopefully see you all next Sunday. So thanks very much for watching, and I'm out here.
Get out of my way.
You're always so angry.
Caledonia, get back here.